Welcome to the channel. Today we're diving into a deeply emotional moment that left many in tears. In a heartfelt conversation, King Charles revealed a shocking truth about Prince Harry's real mother, leaving him unable to hold back his emotions. What exactly happened during this special meeting? Stay tuned to uncover the secret behind Prince Harry's tears and the story that's never been told before. Have you ever heard any rumors about the British royal family? If yes, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, leave a 0. Enjoy the video to uncover this shocking secret, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to support the channel. A royal letter once sealed in sorrow and buried in silence has finally been revealed. It is the final message from King Charles to Prince Harry. An eerie phrase emerges from the letter: "I cannot tell you not because I don't love you, but because the truth will break you." This is the moment when Harry learns the truth about his biological mother. Historians are stunned, the palace is in turmoil, and Harry must finally face the truth he never wanted to know. This is not only a family secret, but also the most carefully guarded lie of the crown. The words in the letter shattered everything. It had been hidden, forgotten, and sealed away for nearly 4 decades in the royal archives. But when the letter was revealed, it not only raised countless questions, but also cracked the foundation of royal history. One single line sent shockwaves: "He will never be hers," not truly, because from the very beginning, he was never hers. These words are cold, profound, and carry a direct meaning. Historians quickly dated the letter to the mid-1980s, when Prince Harry was still a child, around 1985 or 1986. This was a period of political turmoil with growing public pressure and the gradual unraveling of Charles and Diana's marriage. The letter was sent to a longtime friend of Charles, possibly a royal cleric or a spiritual advisor. Whoever it was, it's clear that Charles trusted them enough to confide in them what he could never voice publicly. Now, as the palace refuses to comment, the mystery deepens. Why was the letter concealed? Why was it made public at this moment? And most importantly, who is Charles referring to when he makes that statement? If it's not Diana, everything could change. When the letter was revealed, all eyes were drawn to this weighty remark. But to truly understand its meaning, we must ask, who is she and what did Charles really intend to convey? The phrase, "he will never be hers," may sound simple, but in the secretive world of the royal family, nothing is ever that straightforward. The question that now haunts everyone is, who is Charles referring to, and why say this at such a moment of crisis? Some believe this refers to Diana, but historians argue otherwise. They suggest the language in the letter could hint at something far more complex. Perhaps a surrogate, a secret third party, or even a biological mother unknown to the public. This becomes even more suspicious when we consider the timing of the letter. It wasn't written in the 1990s, when the relationship between Charles and Diana had exploded into public view, but rather during the quiet tension before the public ever knew about the breakdown of their marriage. Did Charles truly think this way at that time? Who was the letter written to, a trusted advisor within the Church of England, or perhaps someone closer like the successor to Lord Mountbatten? The theory that Harry may have been born via a surrogate, once dismissed and silenced for decades, has resurfaced. This idea was ridiculed in the past, but now, with the revelation of the letter, it no longer seems impossible. Perhaps this is the truth the royal family has been trying to conceal for all these years. The words in the letter have changed everything suddenly. What was once unthinkable now not only makes sense, but also seems far too fitting. In the early 1980s, Diana was hospitalized several times under vague circumstances, officially due to stress or private health issues. However, insiders now reveal there were discussions concerning her fertility concerns. Quiet conversations between doctors, aides, and royal advisors. If Charles and Diana were as estranged at that time as many suggest, and a public heir was needed, could the crown have arranged for a surrogate behind closed doors? The palace holds power and motive. All it requires is secrecy. Charles's words, not hers from the very beginning, take on a different meaning now. When considering a surrogate, Diana may have been asked to raise the child playing the role of a mother without any biological connection. This could explain the letter and her long silence. Royal experts now suggest that this theory is no longer just speculation, but may explain the emotional distance, even the lifelong sense of disconnection that Harry has always felt. If this theory holds true, if Diana is not Harry's biological mother, what would this mean about the woman we thought we knew? Was she part of the secret, or was she the one safeguarding it? Her silence may not have been a coincidence. It could very well be the entire essence of Princess Diana's silence. Diana was known for her love, compassion, and devotion to her sons. But when it comes to Harry, that love now raises an emotional question. Was she his biological mother, or was she the protector he chose to have? Diana's love for Harry was real. That part is clear. A palace staff member recalled, "She protected Harry more than anyone I've ever seen. Not just with motherly love, but as if she were shielding him from something we couldn't see." Perhaps she wasn't just protecting Harry from the press, but also from the truth. If Diana knew the truth and took it to her grave, the past could be buried deeper than anyone ever imagined. But the timeline surrounding Harry's birth raises even more questions. Harry's birth in September 1984 led the public to believe that Diana and Charles were a young, smiling royal couple fulfilling their duties. But behind the scenes, cracks were forming. Now the timeline is being scrutinized closely. Many royal watchers point out suspicious gaps in the public record. Early in 1984, Diana had a sudden hospital visit that went unreported with no images, no public explanation. When asked, palace aides simply said she was unwell, but they never specified how. Then there is the question of James Hewitt, long rumored to be Harry's father. Hewitt has always denied this, claiming he only met Diana after Harry was born. That may be true, and in fact it supports a much deeper hidden story about Harry's origins, perhaps not about the father, but the mother. Currently, many royal archives from the 1980s are being reviewed, and there are quiet reports suggesting that some documents may have been replaced or altered with dates around the time of Harry's birth. A former palace aide said, "We always followed procedure unless told otherwise." It's possible that in the past the royal family requested the alteration of certain documents to conceal the truth in order to protect the reputation of the family and avoid questions about Harry's true origins. That protocol likely included covering up the truth about who carried Harry. As these documents are quietly reviewed, a rumor resurfaces. Has Harry ever had a DNA test? Did he want answers but never received them? The next layer of this royal mystery could lie in something very small yet incredibly powerful. The rumor of a DNA test has circulated for years with whispers from palace insiders and hints in biographies. Some claim quietly that Harry had requested a test, but never saw the results. Now, with the letter being revealed, these whispers are growing louder. Some say a private test was conducted in the early 2000s, quietly carried out at the royal labs. A former security staff member claims that a sealed envelope was sent to Clarence's house. No one knows what happened after that. Did Charles see the results? Did Harry ever see them? If the results were concealed, it raises a troubling possibility that someone was trying to protect not only the monarchy, but also Harry himself. Because if the truth is that Charles is the father, but Diana is not the mother, the royal narrative would change, and Harry's entire sense of identity would be altered. However, there is another possibility. Charles's letter may have never been meant to confirm anything, but merely to sow enough doubt to create an emotional distance, a quiet way of saying, "I know, and I cannot change that." One historian remarked, "The letter feels like guilt turned to ink." If that is the truth, the dilemma surrounding the DNA may never be resolved, as the real damage is emotional. As whispers turn into questions and silence transforms into suspicion, one man remains at the center of the storm: King Charles. Because if this story is about Harry's identity, it is also about the secret of a father and perhaps the hidden anguish he carries, the hidden pain of King Charles. Charles has always appeared calm and controlled, but beneath the rigid upper lip and royal tradition lies a man who bears a profound personal burden. The letter now brought to light is not just a historical footnote, but perhaps the rawest glimpse into the inner turmoil of Charles we've ever seen. He will never be hers. Not truly, because from the very beginning he was never hers. Read that line not with doubt, but with sorrow. What if it isn't meant to be cruel, but is in fact a confession? If that's Charles trying to put into words what he's struggled with for years, many close to the royal family have noted that the relationship between Charles and Harry has always been strained. Public events unfolded formally but lacked warmth, and the colder tone became more apparent as Harry grew older. Some attribute this to generational differences, but insiders see something else: emotional avoidance. A former palace aide reflected, "Charles seemed to never know how to emotionally connect with Harry as if he wanted to, but didn't know whether he should." If Charles knew that Diana wasn't Harry's biological mother, that emotional wall might be his way of coping with the pain, distancing himself from something he couldn't speak of. And now, as King Charles, he's more than ever the center of attention. But what if the crown isn't the heaviest burden on his shoulders? What if it's this secret? A silent pain that has lasted for decades, but Charles isn't the only one who feels the weight of this mystery. What do you think about this secret? Is King Charles hiding a painful truth about Harry? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know if you were Charles. Would you keep this secret or reveal the truth? Don't forget to hit like and share this video. From the very beginning, Harry showed signs that he knew something was different. Even before the memoir, before the headlines, before Meghan, there was a boy searching for something. Something that no one could name until now, the lifelong sense of difference Harry has felt. He called himself the Spare. But what if that title isn't just about royal rank, but about identity? From childhood to adulthood, Harry seems to have always lived in the shadow of something undefined. Now the final pieces may be falling into place in the reserve. Harry described feelings of isolation, of being lost even in his own home, not just in the media, but at family dinners during royal tours and in private moments that should have been warm. A family friend once said, "He laughs the loudest but also seems the loneliest." Teachers recall Harry asking questions that other children didn't, not just about the world, but about himself. Where do I come from? Why do I feel so separate? At the time, it sounded like typical teenage anxiety. But now, it seems more like a quiet call for truth. Then came Meghan. She didn't just love Harry, she listened to him and encouraged him to seek out the difficult questions he had always been asking. Meghan is said to have told a close friend, "Now he wants answers deeper than just his lineage." Could this lifelong sense of difference stem from a biological issue? If Harry was raised by a mother who wasn't truly his and has felt that something has been missing throughout his life, then the pain we see isn't rebellion, it's instinct. If Harry's instinct is telling him the truth, then the silence from the palace becomes deafening. While Harry and Meghan search for answers, Buckingham Palace is doing the opposite, fumbling behind closed doors, consulting legal teams, and preparing to manage the fallout. What are they truly afraid of? The silence of the royal family, their fear. The letter has been revealed, the timeline is unraveling, and Harry's questions are louder than ever. But inside Buckingham, the palace remains in absolute silence. Silence without statements, without explanations. Just quiet corridors, tense meetings, and growing panic. Behind that silence, insiders say it's fear. Why? Because this isn't just about one letter. It's about what else could be out there. A royal source confirms that a private crisis management team has been reactivated, similar to the team used during Meghan and Harry's interview with Oprah. Their new task to control leaks, manage the fallout, and uncover the original documents. There are whispers now that more letters may have been sent to Diana, to William, or even to Harry himself. If just one more document surfaces, it could be a disaster, not only emotionally but legally, as questions about inheritance titles and royal succession laws could be raised. The legal team is reportedly examining the royal family's ability to conceal documents under the Official Secrets Act. British media are under pressure to avoid publishing any new information, but foreign media, independent investigators, and international tabloids are not bound by the same rules. Still, the truth is beginning to leak out. A royal aide recently said offhandedly, "They're not worried about the truth. They're worried about losing control of the truth." And that truth could be bigger, darker, and more damaging than anyone expected. Because this is no longer just about Harry, it's about the future of the monarchy itself, and that future may depend on one person standing between the past and the crown. Prince William has known the truth. He has kept it hidden all these years. But if he knows and remains silent, then it's no longer just a family secret. It's a betrayal that could tear them apart forever. The pressure of knowing this truth, Prince William, the heir and the face of the modern monarchy, has been raised from birth to lead. But after this letter, his silence is beginning to attract attention and suspicion. Because if this secret was known within the palace, William may have known for a long time. The relationship between William and Harry has always been complicated, yes, but often distant, protective, yet still guarded over the years. Harry has hinted that William always followed the script. Does that script include the secret behind Harry's birth? And if so, how long has William kept that secret? Sources close to the palace suggest that Charles may have confided in William as he reached adulthood, likely during the time Harry began to rebel against royal duties. An insider revealed that there were serious conversations between father and eldest son, and after those conversations, William changed. He became colder and more guarded. If William knew why, didn't he tell Harry loyalty to the monarchy, perhaps out of fear of the consequences? Or did he believe that protecting the crown was more important than protecting the truth about his brother? Now, with this letter being made public, William's silence could be seen as a betrayal not only to Harry, but also to their brotherly relationship. While William remains silent in London, a storm is brewing across the Atlantic in Montecito, California. Harry and Meghan are facing this truth not with silence, but with action. Behind closed doors, Meghan is said to be urging Harry to uncover the entire truth no matter the cost. Meghan, in the aftermath of Montecito, the release of the letter not only shakes the palace but also rattles the Sussex family. According to sources close to them, Meghan was deeply shaken when she read it, not just because of what it suggests about Diana, but because it confirms many of Harry's suspicions from the very beginning. Meghan has stood by Harry through royal tensions, public scrutiny, and family rejection, but this is different. This is personal. Friends of the couple say that Meghan is now encouraging Harry to go further, consulting legal experts, reaching out to historians, and even pursuing a second memoir focused entirely on identity. An insider in California reveals that they are looking into private DNA experts. Meghan wants him to clarify not just for himself but for their children. The possibility that Archie and Lilibet's bloodline may carry a mystery is not something they take lightly. The family they are building is based on truth, not royal illusions. And in true Meghan style, she may be preparing to help Harry tell the world through a documentary, a podcast, or a new book, perhaps the next chapter in Harry's story, not about leaving the royal family, but about finally understanding where he truly comes from. As Harry digs into his past, one figure remains hauntingly silent: the late Queen Elizabeth II. The woman who reigned through wars, scandals, and abdications. Did she know the truth from the beginning? And if she did, was she protecting the monarchy, or was she shielding Harry from something he still couldn't handle? What did Elizabeth know about Queen Elizabeth II, the final gatekeeper of royal secrets for over 70 years? She balanced duty with discretion, but when it comes to this letter and the secret, it suggests that her silence might be the most telling clue, revealing much more than those closest to her ever imagined. In the end, titles no longer hold meaning when trust is lost. As Harry stands on the brink of truth and legacy, one question remains: will he stay silent to protect the crown, or will he finally speak out to reclaim his story? One thing is certain: the truth has been exposed, and the crown will never be the same again. So, in a truly emotional moment, Harry couldn't hold back his tears as the truth was finally revealed. Could this be a turning point in his life and his relationship with the royal family? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below and hit that like button if you found this story shocking. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on more royal secrets. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.